My Catholic Faith, number 104. Duties of Other Superiors. Upon being chosen to a public office, an official acquires not only rights, but duties as well. Judges, legislators, and other public officials must treat everybody with equal justice, and must give the best service they can to the people. They are responsible before God for everything that they do, for all the decisions they make. Above is the U.S. President addressing Congress. What are the chief duties of those who hold public office? The chief duties of those who hold public office are to be just to all in exercising their authority, and to promote the general welfare. Number 1. Public officials have a great responsibility before God. The higher the post, the greater the responsibility. Legislators, members of the cabinet, judges, all office holders, everybody from the lowest to the highest, will have to give a rigid account to God of all that they have thought, said, done, or omitted. Every law passed, every vote given. A most severe judgment will be for those who bear rule. Wisdom 6:6. Those in high office should regard it as merely committed into their care for a short time. Number 2. No one should strive after a position of authority which he is not competent to fill. One who aspires to a dignity, to the duties of which he is unequal, is like a baker who tries to man an airship. If, however, a person feels himself competent and is willing to accept the duties of a post, it is good for him to endeavor to obtain it, if thereby he can contribute towards the welfare of others. Number 3. One on whom honors and positions are conferred should have as his principal thought the accomplishment of the duties connected with his position. He must not think much of himself on account of the honor. It makes him no better in God's sight. Virtue alone gives a man true worth and distinction. Herod was a king. Mary and Joseph were poor laborers. But Mary and Joseph now are very near God, and surely Herod is not so near God. Whoever wishes to become great among you shall be your servant, and whoever wishes to be first among you shall be your slave, even as the Son of Man has not come to be served, but to serve. Matthew 20:27-28. Number 4. Public officials must set a good example because they occupy a conspicuous position, and because example is better than precept. Officials do more by their example than by their orders and regulations. Like a city seated on a mountain, public officials cannot be hid. Others quickly imitate them. What a responsibility before God is it for an official to lead an immoral life, and thus corrupt numerous young people by his bad example? What a scandal it is for an official to be the first to break the law! How should public officials promote the general welfare? Public officials should promote the general welfare by safeguarding the rights of all, passing good and just laws, and enforcing these laws impartially, interesting themselves in the spread of good moral customs and religion, and punishing evildoers. Number 1. Being the representative of God, public officials should imitate his justice. The common good, not the benefit of a single person or group, should be the object. Civil officials should be ready to sacrifice themselves for the citizens. Christ the Good Shepherd laid down his life for his sheep. Number 2. Officials must be impartial. They must show favor to none, but treat all equally, rich or poor, prominent or unknown. With God there is no respect of persons. Romans 2:11. Judges must beware of acting unjustly, or of allowing themselves to be corrupted by bribes. They must not let the rich and powerful induce them to give unjust judgment. Acceptance of bribes by public officials is a sin that goes against the seventh commandment. God made the little and the great, and hath equal care of all. Wisdom 6:8. Number 3. Public officials should particularly provide for the welfare of the poor and helpless, the destitute, sick, orphan, and the great body of the working classes. These less fortunate citizens often have no power to protect themselves. The laws and rulers must therefore safeguard them without, however, injuring the welfare and rights of others. Number 4. Officials have a serious obligation to promote the Christian foundations of the Constitution. They should work to make Christian principles prevail in a Christian country, safeguarding education, respect for the Lord's Day, marriage, etc. What are the duties of superiors in general? In general, superiors must provide for the spiritual and material welfare of those over whom they have control. Number 1. Employers should be considerate of their inferiors. They must not oppress their employees, nor keep back their wages, nor exploit them in any way. Oppression of the poor, the widow, and the orphan, and defrauding laborers of their wages are sins that cry to heaven for vengeance. Some employers make their people work in unhealthy and overcrowded rooms. They hardly give them any time for rest and for their meals. They require of them more work than they can do. Number 2. Employers should give their employees a living wage, that is, enough for them and their families to live on decently. They should allow them ample facilities for fulfilling religious duties. They should look after the health of their workers, watch over their morals, attend to their religious instruction if they are Catholics. What does the fourth commandment forbid? The fourth commandment forbids disrespect, unkindness, and disobedience to our parents and lawful superiors. Number 1. Disrespect includes all irreverence and stubbornness against lawful authority. One offends against the respect due his parents when he talks back to them, refuses their correction, ridicules them, or strikes them. One who thinks and acts as if he were superior to his parents is a disgraceful snob. For even if a son or daughter has graduated with highest honors from the best university in the world, he still owes his parents due respect as God's representatives. Number 2. Contempt and unkindness are contrary to the love we owe our parents. One offends against the love due his parents if he curses them, despises them, hates them, grieves them, or makes them angry. Children at times speak sharply and insultingly to their parents. We should recoil in shame before doing this. Even if we only think of what our parents have done for us, the continuous and unending sacrifices they have made, we should burn our tongue out before we speak contemptuously to them. He that curseth his father or mother, dying, let him die. Leviticus 29. Number 3. Children may sin against obedience either by refusing or neglecting to do what is commanded, or by doing what is forbidden. Showing unwillingness is also a form of disobedience. A young child is disobedient if he neglects his studies, goes with forbidden companions, goes out without permission, etc. Older children disobey by attending forbidden shows or dances, going out with forbidden companions, or at forbidden times, concealing their earnings from their parents, etc.